Welcome to the Bottle Poppin' Podcast, where Meg and Heather share their love for oils, friendship, and entrepreneurship. Let's get it poppin'.
Hey everyone, this is Meg.
Hi there, this is Heather.
And we are the Bottle Poppin' Podcast. So Heather, what are we popping open today?
We're popping open a conversation about time. But first, I have a question for you, Meg. How do you spend your free time?
I don't really know what free time is. Yeah, but ironically, I say that, but I say that because I'm an entrepreneur and I feel like all of my time is spent towards something business building or learning something new. But I am currently teaching my quarterly group coaching program, the balancing program. And I was telling people last night that earlier this week, I did a whole deep dive class on poop. And they were like, you need a hobby. And I was like, no, it was so awesome. I learned so much about poop. I think I'm going to write a ebook about it. And they're like, no, really, you need a hobby.
You are spending your time differently than I am spending my time.
Mm-hmm.
We are currently back into soccer season. So we've got multiple nights a week of practice and then games on the weekend. Between that and school and our normal daily schedule, I feel like we are just busy a lot at this stage, but that's okay.
Yeah. What is your ideal way to spend free time? Would that still be your ideal?
You know what? My son's really into soccer. He loves it. He's good at it. It's fun to watch him. It's fun to be outside watching the game. So I can't say that we don't enjoy it. I guess I just wish that we had more available time to do the things that we used to do and enjoy as a family, such as hiking or camping. So I think that would be a little bit more integrated into our weeks if possible.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. But back to the topic at hand. We are going to be talking about thyme essential oil today, spelled differently, Thyme. First impressions on the scent?
It smells like Thanksgiving.
Oh.
Or like some type of roasted meat.
Okay, interesting. Herb is what I thought of first, but
Yeah.
I didn't necessarily specifically tie it to Thanksgiving. So that's interesting. That was your first thought.
Well, I think of like, and I said roasted meat, but it's really more like the dressing or stuffing, depending on where you're from. That I use it a lot. I primarily use this for cooking. So even like certain French recipes that I feel like a lot of them call for thyme, or using this with chicken, that type of stuff. And so whenever you cook with essential oils, I will say, generally, you want to do a toothpick in the oil and then swirl that into whatever sauce you're making or recipe you're making. If you just do a drop, it's going to be super, super strong. And there's a good chance you're going to have more than one drop out. So just throw that out there for those who haven't cooked with essential oils before.
And the one drop is definitely true when it comes to the thickness of the oils, because certain oils are very slow with their drops, and then other oils drop really quickly depending on how thick or thin it is. And the way that we know that we can use this for cooking or take internally is the supplement facts box on the back. If you're watching us on video right now, you can see that box on the back of the bottle. So thyme can be used all three ways: aromatically, in a diffuser, straight from the bottle. It can be used topically, but because it is a hot oil, you do want to dilute it with some sort of fractionated coconut oil or similar. And then you can use it internally as well. We actually do not use this one for cooking as our most frequent. I would say that we use this one for immune support as our most frequent. This is in several of the Symphony of the Cells protocols, and it is highly diluted within that protocol. And so at the first sign of any sort of illness or seasonal things that we're trying to fight off, we combine this with several other oils for immune support.
That's cool. You know, it's funny. I'm the one who's gone through the class and everything for Symphony of the Cells, but I definitely think you use it more. And I don't think it's just because you've got more people in your home. It's just, I don't know. I love that you have embraced that. And it's so good. I need to use it more often for sure. In fact, I should be using it this week. My husband's got some things going on and it didn't even cross my mind.
I really like directions. I like things that give me very specific structure on what I need to do for a certain issue. This is a complete protocol that tells me what oils to use for what things. I could easily go and look in a reference book to find, okay, what oils are good for this or that. Mm-hmm. The Symphony of the Cells makes it really easy to just kind of put all of that together. I will say, because we have multiple people in our house, I respond fine to the full oil application. My husband responds fine. My children, I dilute more, or I use less drops of the oils when I'm using on them. However, my daughter is definitely sensitive to the amount of oils that we put on her. And so she limits herself to 1 to 3 oils max, because her description, if she uses any more than that or too many drops, is she says she feels white afterwards. So the only thing I can think is she's got so much going on in her nervous system at that point that it just kind of blanks itself out. And so we do not use as much for her. So yes, we have multiple people in the house, so we use it more frequently, but I also use it differently for each person.
Yeah, super interesting. And for those who don't know about Symphony of the Cells, it's an application and application process, I guess, but it's multiple oils. Like I feel like most of the protocols are like 8 to 10 oils, and then it's multiple drops of each one. So obviously with your daughter, like that's a whole lot of oils, like 30 drops on somebody is going to shift and change things. But because of that, at least in my experience as an adult who can handle a lot of oils, you feel the shift really fast and super effective. So if anybody's interested in that, there's probably practitioners around you that offer Symphony of the Cells, or for sure you can purchase the book and like experiment with it for yourself.
Yeah. But again, it's like a drop or two of an oil or two. It's definitely not the, just see how many drops fall out along the back.
How do you pick which ones to do for her, or does she pick them?
Depends on what we're dealing with. I know she doesn't love peppermint, so if peppermint's in one of the protocols, I usually just skip that for her.
Which it's in almost all of them.
It really is, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the hot oils are really, really valuable when it comes to helping with immune support and things like that, so I don't want to skip those altogether, but I do make sure that I have 1 drop max of those and that it's highly diluted. I try to focus on the oils that I know that she likes the best, but out of the ones that I'm choosing from.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, this oil has a lot of different ways that you can use it. And unfortunately, a lot of them we're not able to share on here. But some of the things that we can share. So like one of the things I read about is that it's amazing for helping with memory loss. So I guess reversing memory loss. It'd be great for that, or concentration.
Yeah, because even on doTERRA's website, it talks about if you're mentally lethargic in the middle of the day, that this is a good one to diffuse. Not one I would immediately think of to diffuse, but it says that it can kind of promote that sense of alertness.
And really, just smelling it, like I do get like a hit of like, oh yeah, I'm awake. It's funny because you can smell the spiciness of it.
And I wouldn't necessarily classify this as uplifting, but it does perk me up a little bit. It smells clean. It smells really, it's not analgesic because that's more of like a mentholy smell, but it smells clean. I hate when I describe things as like hospital clean because I don't know that that doesn't smell good necessarily in my mind.
Yeah.
But this is used for cleaning things too. So you could combine this with other oils and use as a topical cleaner. I know a couple of years ago when things got a little crazy in the world with trying to keep everything really clean, Thyme was a really big thing that was talked about as being one of the best ways to clean things. And Thyme has a high thymol content. So this can be used that way. This is cleansing on the skin as well. So you could apply it to the skin. However, because it is hot, again, you've got to dilute it. So I don't know that that's my first choice for cleansing of the skin.
Well, I will say, and this is not in On Guard, but On Guard is also hot. And I have had like a pimple or something like that before where just the more gentle oils weren't working and just a little bit next day gone. So I think that's maybe especially if there is some type of infection in that area as well.
Yeah.
So worth it.
Yeah. And again, I don't use this one for cooking, but we do use this one quite a bit. And so even though it's not one that I reach for a diffuser blend or for cooking, I have used it for cooking before. It's just not a regular use for us. I am very happy to have Thyme on my hands when I need it.
For sure. For sure. Well, and you mentioned diffuser blends. So did you find any diffuser blends that this would work well with?
I did find a diffuser blend. I thought this one was fun, and I have not tried it yet, but I think I will try it later. It has been rainy and currently foggy outside for the last couple of mornings. It's 10:30 and it's still foggy outside right now for me. But this diffuser blend is called Light and Bright, and it's 1 drop of thyme, 3 drops of lime, and 2 drops of bergamot. So that sounds like that would smell really good together.
That does. Yeah, I might have to add that in my diffuser today. Interesting. So thyme, lime, and bergamot.
Yep.
Bergamot.
Bigger bergamot, yes.
Okay, awesome. Nice. Well, anything else on this oil?
I think you should get it if you don't have it already.
Yeah, agreed. You definitely want it. Get a reference book as well so that you know all the different ways that you can use it. But it's a great oil to have on hand when you need it for sure. So, well, we hope that you have learned something new in this podcast, and share it with a friend if you think it would help them. And we so appreciate you taking the time every week to listen to us. So thank you, thank you, thank you. We'll have a brand new episode for you next week.
Thanks for tuning in. For more information, you can follow these bottle poppin' ladies at bottlepoppinpodcast.com. Tune in next week to learn about what bottle we're poppin'. Until next time, take care. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This podcast is not intended to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease.